some very, very strong. They say textbook reflectivity structure. So that is exactly, I've mentioned this a couple of times. Looking at the back of your left hand, you look at the back of the front of my right, you can see that hook of the thumb is the exact structure that we see for a dangerous tornado. They're upgrading to large hail because the thing is, we've got that rotating updraft right here that's pulling in the rain, pulling in the dry air, and that is pulling up that rain and moisture so quickly it's producing some incredibly large hail, so 2-inch in diameter. It's about the size of a large lime. So New Albany, go now. Go to your safe place. You need to be taking with you a helmet, a hard hat. If your kids are playing baseball this season, grabbing a helmet so that they can put that on their head. Baseball or softball, of course, football, anything to put on their heads to protect your head, protect your noggin. That'll keep you from seeing a worse head injury from the storm. Of course, this is just on the border of our viewing area, but I also want to consider as we get into southeastern Tippah County, this is a storm that we haven't seen so far today, Trevor, this kind of a supercell developing, but this is a storm that is going to stay on the ground potentially for several more minutes, if not tens of minutes. As we look back towards the debris detector, it's tough to say because we've got that clear air getting wrapped in, so that can sometimes make it confusing and difficult to parse out. But of course, we did see just at 6:30, so 7 minutes ago, definitely a debris ball on that storm, Trevor.
And Kit, I have a live picture here. This is from I-22 in Blue Springs. This is right at the car facility there. I can never remember if, I believe it's Toyota is the one in Blue Springs. I always get it confused with Canton, which is Nissan. So now still a confirmed tornado on the ground, debris signature confirmed, but you are looking kind of between Tupelo and New Albany back into the thunderstorm. This is on Interstate 22 near Blue Springs, Mississippi. This is in Union County, which is outside of our coverage area. These counties are the ones I used to cover when I worked in Columbus, Mississippi. That's part of that television market that's also served by Tupelo. So I know this area well, but it is technically out of our area. The reason we're still watching it is because this storm could clip far southern Tippah County and far southern Alcorn County. Incredible lightning with that storm there. And again, this is I-22 near Blue Springs, Mississippi, looking back off to the north and west along I-22. We are going to get back to that camera here in just a second, but for those of you who might just be joining us, I want to show you why we're here and what we're talking about. So this is a tornado that's on the ground in Union County, Mississippi. That's where New Albany is. If you know, right before you get to Tupelo, there's the city there. You've got the Lowe's off the interstate. You've got the Love's truck stop right before you get into Tupelo, and then the big Toyota plant is there in Blue Springs. That's where that camera is that we're looking at, is in Blue Springs, Mississippi. And if I zoom in a little bit, you'll be able to see it. So there's Blue Springs right there. There's the tornado, that hook echo near Bald Hill, and it's about to cross Interstate 22 near Beacon Hill. Nobody should be on I-22 anywhere near Union County or New Albany. If you're trying to drive to Tupelo, stop. If you're trying to drive to Memphis from Tupelo, definitely stop, because this thing is so close to you. And again, the reason that we're going to watch this is because of how close it's going to get to Alcorn County, which is there, and then southern Tippah County. I am hopeful that this will largely stay south of those areas. I do think it's more of an issue for Boonville in Prentiss County, but I do want to track it out and just get an estimate of this timing of where this thing could be going. And the reason we're going to stay with it, because I do expect a tornado warning for part of Tippah and Alcorn counties too. Ashland is clear. Someone asked in chat, this is past Ashland. The severe weather threat is over for Ashland, Mississippi. But if you're in New Albany, it's going to be there at 6:52. It's going to cross the interstate at close to New Albany or Blue Springs at 6:52. Alpine at 7:08, Dumas at 7:12. That Dumas is in southern Tippah County. So that's kind of the zone we're talking about, is far southern Tippah County. Not so much an issue for Ripley. What is that? Yeah, Dumas is going to see the bigger hail, though. We have 2-inch hail that's probably going to come into Dumas in the next little bit. And that's probably what's going to favor more of Tippah and Benton County, or Tippah and Alcorn County, I should say. This is past Benton County, but for Tippah and Alcorn counties, hail the biggest concern, but this tornado is close. It's going to be near Dumas at 712, Rienzi at 741. That's crossing Highway 45 south of Corinth, and then eventually crossing into Tishomingo County. But again, a tornado on the ground near New Albany, Mississippi. It's going to cross Interstate 22 in a matter of minutes. A large tornado on the ground. There's your debris ball, clear as day. That little blip on the radar right there. That is where we have tornado debris that is being lofted. An incredible signature of rotation near Bald Hill and coming up toward New Albany and Blue Springs. If you know anybody in New Albany or Blue Springs, Mississippi, you absolutely have to get them in their safe place. And this is about to cross I-22, right where we were just looking. So now that we kind of have our bearings straight and we know what we're looking at, we are going to start looking at I-22 near Blue Springs. We're looking to the north and west. You can definitely see the darkening clouds. Nobody should be driving on I-22 in Union County, Mississippi right now, from up near the Toyota plant near Tupelo through Union County and Blue Springs. That is exactly where this tornado is going to cross, and that's going to be very close to New Albany, Mississippi. So I know a lot of people travel that. I travel it a lot when I go back down to Starkville. I was just there last weekend, so I literally passed right here, right before you get to Tupelo. A lot of people are taking that way, and you see that amazing cloud-to-ground lightning, which is insane to look at, but it is also an incredible sign that this is a strong storm and a storm that will likely continue to produce this tornado as it moves to the north and east. So we're just going to sit here with this. This is the only storm that we are concerned about right now. There is heavy rain falling everywhere in the Mid-South, and we have a big-time flooding potential in Memphis and the Mid-South. That will be more of the focus as we start our 9 p.m. news and 10 p.m. news tonight, because the severe weather threat will be gone. As a matter of fact, this is really the last hurrah for a severe weather potential in our area. Memphis, the severe weather threat is over for you. Who I'm going to continue to watch is McNairy, Tippah, and then Alcorn County. Those areas in northeast Mississippi, those still have a threat of severe weather. So most areas in the Mid-South are clear of the severe weather threat. But for those of you in Alcorn County, Tippah County, and maybe into McNairy County, we're going to watch this. We should be able to clear these zones within the next hour and a half, but we're going to have to wait to see what this tornado does. This is still a tornado, a classic signature of a tornado that is on the ground, that supercell look. It's got that curl on the backside, that hook echo, and that is coming right into New Albany and very close to Blue Springs, Mississippi. There is no doubt about it. I believe we will see this thing on the ground on that camera we were just talking about. So somebody's asking about Hickory Flat. This is in southern Benton County. So there's Hickory Flat there. So this tornado is going to be to your south. Tornado is not going to hit Hickory Flat. It's going to be New Albany, very close to Dumas, and then toward Boonville. Hickory Flat, you could see some hail out of this as you get really close to what is likely 2-inch hail that could be falling near New Albany right now. But the tornado is going to cross near New Albany, probably a little closer to Blue Springs on Interstate 22, right where that Toyota plant is, right before you get to Tupelo. That's where this is going to cross. We'll have to wait and see how close it gets to Tippah or Alcorn counties. I want to go back to that camera just to see what we're seeing. Again, we were looking at the MDOT traffic camera on Interstate 22 near Blue Springs, and this is essentially where this thing is going to cross. Kit, you have anything to add to this?
Yeah, just looking at some other radar products that we usually don't get too much into the details, but this is confirming that this is a dangerous tornado. This kind of shape here, this is differential reflectivity. Ignore the storm winds. I'm looking at a different product. We don't have we rarely use this because it's a rare product to even use for a tornado. But this is showing basically flattening of rain droplets. That might sound just really weird, but basically the updraft is so powerful, instead of a raindrop forming a normal sphere, they're forming these flat pancake shapes inside of that hook echo. If we switch back over from this view to that classic classic radar signature, you can see we've got that arch right there, and that's very likely where we're seeing that tornado. There's a couple of spots that I was looking at of some rotation. It looks like we've just advanced the scan, so I'm just going to go back one scan there. That was where we were seeing that ZDR arch right there. That's where we've got that rapid rotation. Bald Hill, though, Trevor, I was looking at that, so we kind of have, it may be some side lobing on the southern side. I'm a little more concerned on this one. I think that's going to probably be the dominant one. The National Weather Service is also just really emphasizing that hail threat.
Hey, Kit.
Yes, sir.
I think we've got it on camera right now.
All right, pull it up.
Do you see that over on the left side?
That is the tornado. Yeah, get this in the green screen here. We, of course, we've caught a couple of DOT cameras recently with tornadoes, and that's a big strike of lightning. So if we get this on the green screen in a moment, I'll point it out to you, but it's right there on the left of your screen, and we are going to watch this cross over I-22. If we could get this in a box as well, we'll keep this, we'll let our directors produce this as they can. So if we can get first me on top of the green screen with this, and then get a box with my radar so we can look at this side by side. But this is a tornado. This is a large tornado, damaging
right over the interstate.
Right there. We've seen the debris ball. We can't really see it from this view, but you notice here we've of course got the base, the dark base. Make sure we're rolling on this as well. Make sure we're recording this right now. We've got the base of the cloud here. We've got the rain shaft behind that. You know that green to blue color you get with hailstorms? That's what we're seeing here. This is the hail core. This is the winds that are getting wrapped into this storm. And then right here, you can see the shaft of the tornado, the column of it. Then behind here, this is the rear flank downdraft, the inflow cuts, or the outflow coming around. So this, Trevor, has me concerned that this is going to get rain wrapped very soon. So again, this is a confirmed dangerous tornado, a particularly dangerous situation for New Albany. If you're in New Albany, this is on the way to your area. If we can get the boxes with my radar in a moment, we'll show that as well. If we can just punch it back and forth between radar and this image. They're making those boxes, so we'll have that. There we go. We've got that tornado on the side over here. Of course, you can see, even looks like a wall cloud is trying to form. But New Albany, you need to be in your shelter immediately. The lowest level of your home, the most interior room of the home. This is right around where that tornado is. If we switch back over to the debris, we can look and see where that debris ball has been formed across the last few scans. Want to just keep an eye out for it. Looks like the debris ball is on the more southern side here. So Trevor, I'm going to amend what I was previously saying of which one of those velocity couplets is the tornado. Of course, this is an area of very rapid rotation. It looks like that may be some of the hail, 2-inch diameter hail possible. I think this is the storm here. This is the area of rotation that is moving into New Albany, about to cross over Interstate 22. Of course, radar is never live, so we may not see that potential for that tornado. Trevor, I'm seeing a new severe thunderstorm warning. Could you get me the details on that as we switch back over to Trevor here in a moment? I want to just take that view of the storm once again on the Mississippi.
That's crossing the interstate right now. I-22 at New Albany. That tornado is coming right through New Albany right now. And New Albany, if you don't know, is a pretty decently sized community. That's the one you hit right before you get to Tupelo. And looking at that and seeing that tornado come across the interstate, it's almost like what we saw in Lake City, last Wednesday, this past Wednesday, because it's so, heart-stopping to watch, just knowing that lives are probably changing right now as that tornado crosses the interstate. But this is I-22 near New Albany, Mississippi. This is in Union County, Mississippi. And you see that rain core there, and a large cloud, and people still driving into it. I hope that they can get this interstate exit shut down soon, because that thing is going to be right on top of I-22 pretty much right now. and you can see it as it's just kind of moving its way across the interstate. It's probably now getting more wrapped in rain. What you're seeing there now is more of the rain shaft, and that tornado is going to be in the middle of that rain shaft there, and probably hard to see, which means you don't need to be outside trying to see this thing. I know we don't reach New Albany. We're staying on the air with this because it could clip southern Tippah, southern Alcorn counties, and we just want to take a look at what it's doing down in Union County. But it's not, you're not going to be able to see this thing. It is very much wrapped in rain at this point as it crosses I-22 near New Albany.
Some decent amount of hail probably getting wrapped around in this as well, Trevor. Let's just take that camera back full behind me here for a moment, back on the green screen. But you can just sort of see the inflow of that storm starting to get pulled in. It's just now starting to come back in right there. Okay, so we were talking about it a moment ago. This is the rain getting wrapped around. When we talk about that hook echo, that is rain that is getting pulled around. We are looking at the bottom edge of the hook echo of this thunderstorm. So the mesocyclone is just north of this into the screen. That is getting pulled around the tornado, pulled around. And you can just see the very edge of the tail cloud that feeds into the wall cloud of the storm. Now, at least from the south, this is a rain-wrapped tornado, which is dangerous. It can be very deadly. Let's get back to the tornado warning on radar here. Of course, we can get a dual camera view or single, and that either one works. But there we have, pardon me, we'll go back to that relative velocity. It's turned into a bit of a jumbled mess here from just how fast it's moving. There's a ton of hail that is interfering. It's causing a ton of interference with how fast these winds are going, so we really can't measure how fast the winds are. Of course, I was mentioning the hail tracks. The hail track is going to be something that we're very concerned with over the next little while because that's starting to move into the Dumas area, the tornado threat and the hail threat. I'm sorry?
Yeah, I was just going to say, that's putting it back into our area.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Tippah County, Alcorn County, that's when we got to start paying attention to this again.
This is why we've been staying with this storm, because we're going to see that threat moving in very soon. So we'll get that up there. New Albany, we're looking, it's happening right now, very likely with the heavy hail starting up right now around the Keonaville. We're looking around 7 o'clock, around Dumas, around 7:15, probably around 7:10, 7:15 with that hail starting up. We've seen some large hail. Of course, that green is upwards of 2 inches in diameter. The hail threat has been reduced to golf ball size hail, which can still do a lot of damage, but it is encouraging to see it being reduced. And of course, as I mentioned, we've got just so much hail in this thunderstorm right on this side here that it's causing a ton of noise, so we can't really see exactly where the tornado is based on the velocities. So we'll have to go based on the hook echo, which again, this looks more sloppy. It's not that nice clean thumb, but remember, we were just talking about how the rain has come around the tornado, and that is obscuring the view of that storm. So if we look back at the correlation coefficient, this is the debris detector. We've seen in recent scans still, of course, around the Bald Hill area. Bald Hill may have taken a direct hit from that debris ball there. That continued towards the northwest. I want to keep an eye on that there. You can see as it wrapped back in from Bald Hill, moving northwest towards the New Albany area. Very briefly, Trevor, I'm wondering if that is some occlusion here of the inflow. That's probably not the debris ball, because just the scan just before that, the debris ball was right around here, and we've got the dark blue of that inflow. So probably not where we saw that debris ball. So hoping that New Albany is safe and everyone is in their tornado shelters, as we cannot make them clear just yet. Trevor.